us tonight is the validity of the Byzantine Empire. Was this an empire of Europeans, or was it an empire of black Jews that you call Negroes today? Well, according to archaeology, anthropology, and other historical facts that we've dug up here at the Israeli School through the grace of the Most High, we found out that the Byzantine Empire was an empire of black Jews that controlled Europe and the rest of the world for over 1,000 years. And they called it the Dark Ages. The overthrow of the white world began in 193 AD by a great black military leader and genius by the name of Septimius. They named a month after him in the year called September. Septimius was a great military genius that got together with other black military men in the Roman Empire, black Jews, and decided that if they can be in the amphitheater and the Colossus and fight lions and tigers, they definitely can fight the white man and overthrow his wicked kingdom. Now, when you check out the history of the Greeks and the Romans, they only ruled the world for 200 years. After that, they was overthrown by Septimius and his dynasty, and then the blacks took over Europe and the rest of the world, black Jews, and controlled the world for over 1,000 years. And all of this information can be connected right back to the Bible. And this is what we intend on doing tonight. We intend on bringing the truth of the Byzantine Empire, the truth of the Dark Ages, and how all the great kings and queens and architects and scientists and musicians and scholars and poets and writers and playwrights and dancers and all different types of people from all walks of life, that they were black. Ballet was started by the Israelites. Classical music was started by the Israelites under the so-called Byzantine Empire, which was an empire that spread not only in Russia under that fake name that was given to them by white scholars, but that empire stretched from Russia to Rome to Germany to France to Spain to Germany, you name it. We were there and we were in control. And we knew that we were the children of Israel. Now, before we get right into this history, I want to read a couple of Bible scriptures that will bring out the facts that the devil was the one that went and rewrote history, whitewashed it, and lied about it up until this very day in 1993. The whole whitewashing demonic plot began during the so-called Renaissance, which was the time period that Pope Alexander VI of Rome was funding Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci to go out throughout Europe and whitewash all of the black images and statues and relics and icons that were painted by our ancient forefathers, the Israelites, that overthrew the Roman Empire. Let's read. The first scripture we want to go to is Romans 1:25.
Who changed the truth of the Lord into a lie?
The devil, the so-called white man, was the one that changed the truth of the Bible, the truth of the Most High, into a lie by proclaiming himself to be Jesus Christ. In 1492, Caesar Borgias, the second son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome, became the model of the new Jesus Christ, the white Jesus, the fake Jesus, so you can understand. Prior to that, all of the images of Jesus throughout Europe, Africa, Asia, and the rest of the world were black. Everybody on the planet knew that he was black. He didn't become white until white people got back in power. And this was during the Renaissance that they decided to whitewash all of the black images and shove that down the throats and the minds of all the nations of the world, particularly the so-called Negro. He believes that Jesus Christ is white more than anybody on the planet because it's been beaten into his head. Continue.
And worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator.
The creature that they're serving is this image of Caesar Borgias. He is the creature in the Bible that it speaks of as being the devil. And not only him, the entire so-called Caucasian race. This is not personal, it's biblical. This was the image of the creature that was made in 1492 by Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. This is the problem with black people in America today. They don't know who the Most High is. They don't know who Christ is. and they look up to a white image to save them, and they go to church and they sing and they dance, and they think that this singing and this dancing and shouting and having an epileptic fit and praying to a white image, they think that this is the thing that is going to redeem them or save them. This image here is what destroys the minds of young blacks and causes them to drop out of high school, drop out of college, drop out of grade school, and they begin to rob and steal in the streets. They rob and steal in the streets because they have no self-image. They always look up to the image of the devil, the so-called white man. There he is. Caesar Borgias, the second son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome, a homosexual and a child molester. Now we're going to continue to read in the Bible. We read in Romans 1:25. Now from there we're going to Isaiah, the 29th chapter, the 15th to the 16th verse.
Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord.
Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Most High. That's the devil. The so-called white man is trying to hide the fact that he's trying to destroy the nation of Israel all over the planet Earth. He's trying to hide the fact that he's putting weapons in outer space on a space shuttle through a Star Wars program to fight against the Most High and fight against Christ and the angelic forces. The so-called white man is trying to hide the fact academically in school that he destroyed the history and the archaeology concerning the Byzantine Empire and kept it to himself and whitewashed it. Continue reading.
And their works are in the dark.
Everything they do, they try to do it in secret. But there's a scripture in the New Testament that says everything that's done in the dark should be brought out in the light. Because Christ is the one that's bringing the truth out about the devil, the so-called white man. That he's the wicked seed. He's the omen. He's the demon seed. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of, and he's the one that the planet Earth is angry with right now. The Indians are angry with him. The Japanese are angry with him. The Chinese are angry with him. The Arabs are angry with him. The Muslims are angry with him. The Africans are angry with him. Everybody on earth is angry with him except this knucklehead so-called Negro that's walking around still believing that, yes, Jesus loved me because the Bible tells me so. And they know nothing about the Bible. They know nothing about Jesus. And they know nothing about themselves. What they're going to find out is that Jesus is a black man and that he hated so-called Europeans, which at that time they were called Romans. He hated them. They were the ones that put him on the cross and hung him and crucified him and whipped him with a cat o' nine tails and stripped him out of his royal garment. They did this, white people. Read.
And they say, Who seeth us?
And these devils always have meetings in Europe, in think tanks in England, in different universities in the United States and different states throughout the United States. They're having these secret trilateral illuministic meetings, and they're trying to predict the next world catastrophe or the future of the world. Well, I can help the Illuminati out a little bit tonight. The future of the world is that the nation of Israel is going to rise to the top and take over the world by the power of the Most High. And all of you devils that are members of that little secret witch coven called the Illuminati and the Trilateral Commission, you're going to be the new busboys and butlers and slaves and comedians and tap dancers of the earth. Because you're going into slavery. Your backs are going to be whipped, and you're going to serve the so-called Negro for all the wickedness you've committed in this earth. All your secret plans that you're making, your Global 2000 plan, your experiment with germ warfare, your experiments in outer space with your particle beam weapon system and all that other little nonsense that you have is going to be brought to naught by the power of the Most High. There's nothing that you can do. It doesn't matter how many laws the Supreme Court passes. You want to pass a law now that preachers can't go on the street and talk loud. You got a lot of nerve. You said that to try to get at the Israeli school. We know this. We are going to continue to teach the word of the Most High, whether you give us a permit or not, whether you take speakers from us or not. You are not going to stop the program of the Most High. You're going to keep messing around, and you're going to cause the angels to come down here on this earth in the flying saucers and jack your butt up from one end of America to the other. You keep messing with us and watch and see if the Most High do not send Michael the Archangel and Gabriel and Raphael and Uriel and other mighty angels in heaven